Good afternoon, friends. In last lecture, we started with drugs acting on cardiovascular system. Near about 4 chapters are going to be included. Out of this, in last lecture, we completed first chapter, that is anti-anginal agent, isn't it? Now from today, we start with the second chapter under drugs acting on cardiovascular system, that is anti-arrhythmic agents. This is the next chapter, that is anti-arrhythmic agents. As the name itself indicating that anti means against. Those drugs used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia condition. Anti-arrhythmic, that is those drugs used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia condition are called as anti-arrhythmic agent. First, you should know what is cardiac arrhythmia. Cardiac arrhythmia, that is nothing but irregularity in heartbeat. Cardiac arrhythmia, that is nothing but irregularity in heartbeat. You know that normal average adult person, that is adult beats 72 beats per minute. This is the average beats per minute. This is the average cardiac rhythm, that is 72 beats per minute. But whenever there is a irregularity occurs in cardiac rhythm or in heartbeat, then the condition is called as cardiac arrhythmia condition. Now you understand that normal average adult heartbeat, that is 72 beats per minute. If this average heartbeat rate it goes below 60 beats per minute, then it is called as bradycardia. If this average heartbeat rate goes below 60 beats per minute, then it is called as bradycardia. If the rate is higher than 90 beats per minute, then it is called as tachycardia. I think in last year we completed under HFP what is bradycardia, what is tachycardia. Bradycardia, that is nothing but when heartbeat rate or cardiac rhythm rate is below 72 beats per minute, that is there about 60 beats or less than 60 beats, then it is called as bradycardia condition. If the heartbeat or cardiac rhythm rate is higher, that is above 90 beats per minute, then it is called as tachycardia condition. And the abnormal heartbeat condition, either increase or decrease in condition, that is called as cardiac arrhythmia condition or cardiac arrhythmia, isn't it? Now this cardiac arrhythmia condition, that is also depends on ectropic pacemaker rate activity. Ectropic pacemaker rate activity. In last year we completed cardiac cycle. Now you know that this rhythm, that is cardiac arrhythmia condition, it is mainly associated with the rate of ectropic pacemaker rate condition. If the ectropic pacemaker rate is 120 to 140 beats per minute, then it is called as tachyarrhythmia condition. Then it is called as tachyarrhythmia. If the ectropic pacemaker rate is 220 to 260 beats per minute, then it is called as the flutter. And if the ectropic pacemaker rate is very high, that is above 350 beats per minute, then it is called as fibrillation. आपण म्हणतो flutter, fibrillation, tachyarrhythmia. That is related with what? Related with ectropic pacemaker rate activity. If the ectropic pacemaker rate is 120 to 140 beats per minute, then it is called as tachyarrhythmia condition. If ectropic pacemaker rate 220 to 260 beats per minute, then it is called as flutter. And another one, when the rate is very high, that is above 350 beats per minute, then it is called as fibrillation. Sometimes they will ask what is flutter, what is fibrillation. Flutter, that is mainly related with ectropic pacemaker rate activity, that is cardiac arrhythmia condition. Depending on the rate, there is a flutter condition or fibrillation. And you understand that bradycardia, that is when the average adult person heartbeat that is below 60 beats per minute, then it is called as bradycardia. If the rate is very high, that is above 90 beats per minute, then it is called as tachycardia. And irregularity in heartbeat condition or irregularity in cardiac rhythm condition, then it is called as cardiac arrhythmia condition. Those drugs used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia, that is called as anti-arrhythmic agent. That is anti-arrhythmic are those agents used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia, irregularity in heartbeat or in rhythm Even another condition, that is anti-flutter, that is those agents used in treatment of atrial and ventricular flutter. Antifibrillatory, that are those agents used in treatment of atrial and ventricular fibrillation condition. So that is those drugs used in flutter, fibrillation, that is anti-flutter, antifibrillatory agent. Antiarrhythmic, that is those agents used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. So these terms you should remember, and therefore those drugs used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia are called as antiarrhythmic agent. And these antiarrhythmic agents broadly classified into three types. Now here in examination they will ask define and classify antiarrhythmic agent with example. So you understand that antiarrhythmic are those agents used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia or used in irregularity in heartbeat condition, that is called as antiarrhythmic agent. Anti-flutter, that is those agents used in treatment of flutter condition, that is associated with ectropic pacemaker rate activity. And antifibrillatory are those agents that is used in treatment of cardiac fibrillation condition, that is atrial and ventricular fibrillation condition. Now therefore these antiarrhythmic agent or anti-flutter or antifibrillatory agent are same, classified into different types. In that first type, that those agents act by depression, electrophysiologically or myocardial depression agent, that is those agents directly depress myocardium, depression of myocardium. Here there are two types, one that is electrophysiologically fully depressed agent, and second one that is electrophysiologically partially depressed agent. Now first type, that is those agents act by myocardial depression agent, that is as the name itself indicating that these agents when given produces depression action on myocardium, and because of depression in myocardium, that is decreases conduction velocity, contractibility, excitability of cardiac tissue, and thereby used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. So there are two types, one that is electrophysiologically fully depression agent, example quinidine and procainamide. This quinidine and procainamide are the drug of choice in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. Remember, sometimes which is the drug of choice in cardiac arrhythmia? So quinidine and procainamide, these are the drug of choice in cardiac arrhythmia, act by the mechanism that is fully depression action on myocardium. Second type, partially depressed, electrophysiologically partially depressed agent, example lignocaine and phenytoin. Actually this lignocaine that is used as local anesthetic agent, but partially myocardial depression effect is used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. Similarly, phenytoin, it is anti convergent agent used in treatment of epilepsy, but partially myocardial depression action it is used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. So this is the first type, that is myocardial depression agent. Second type, that is beta blockers. Already we completed that beta blockers, that is propranolol, timolol and sotalol. These agents, that is beta blocker agent, used as anti-anginal agent as well as also used as anti-arrhythmic agent. Even in last lecture under anti-anginal agent, that calcium channel blockers, that is verapamil and nifedipine. Already we completed under anti-anginal agent, that is verapamil and nifedipine also used in treatment of anti-anginal agent as well as anti-arrhythmic agent. So this is the full classification of anti-arrhythmic agent. That first type, those agents act by myocardial depression action. There are two types according to mechanism, that is electrophysiologically fully depressed agent, quinidine and procainamide. Second, partially depressed agent, example lignocaine and phenytoin. Second type, that is beta blocking agent, example propranolol, timolol and sotalol. Third type, calcium channel blockers, verapamil and nifedipine. So these are the anti-arrhythmic agent, or sometimes we ask define and classify anti-arrhythmic agent with example. Now the next point, that is mechanism of action. Then how these anti-arrhythmic agents used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. So there are various mechanisms by which these drug produces anti-arrhythmic agent action because of myocardial depression effect. First thing, that it causes decrease in potassium efflux from myocardial cell. When there is a decrease in potassium entry occurs in myocardial cell, there is a myocardial depression action takes place. Second thing, that it decreases diastolic depolarization, and because of decrease in diastolic depolarization, there is a myocardial depression effect take place. And third thing, that it increases effect and thereby entry of sodium into cells and thereby used as anti-arrhythmic agent. So either of these three various mechanisms, that there are first mechanism that these agent causes decrease in potassium efflux from myocardial cell. Second thing, that it decreases diastolic depolarization. When diastolic depolarization decreases, there is a decrease in contractibility, conduction velocity, refractory period, and thereby used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. And by increasing sodium channel, these drugs also used as anti-arrhythmic agent. So these are the various mechanisms through which anti-arrhythmic agents are going to be effective. Now here classification is important. Then you remember particularly quinidine and procainamide. These two drugs are very important. Sometimes we have mentioned dose, route of administration, and more important use of quinidine, even procainamide, then advantages of procainamide over procaine. So let us see first drug under anti-arrhythmic agent, that is quinidine. So you know that quinidine that is obtained from cinchona bark. Cinchona bark, it contains two type of alkaloids. I think in last year in pharmacology you may completed that quinidine that is present in cinchona bark. Cinchona bark contains two groups of alkaloid, quinine and quinidine. Quinine that is used as anti-malarial agent, while quinidine that is used as anti-arrhythmic agent. Remember this. So this quinidine obtained from cinchona bark, it is produces myocardial depression action, and because of fully depression action on myocardium, it is used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. It decreases conduction velocity, refractory period action, as well as decreases contractibility and excitability of myocardial cell. जेव्हा हार्ट मसल डिप्रेस होतील त्यावेळेस हे सगळे ऍक्शन डिक्रीज होणार आहे. फॉर एक्झाम्पल फर्स्ट फार्माकोलॉजिकल ऍक्शन that on conduction velocity. So these drug when given like quinidine drug that depress myocardium, and because of depression action it decreases contractibility and excitability of cardiac tissue. So contractibility जर कमी झाली तर त्यावेळेस काय होणार आहे, cardiac arrhythmia condition treat होणार आहे. Second thing, that also decreases conduction velocity, then refractory period action. Refractory period, that is nothing but the period of onset of depolarization. जसं तुम्ही मागच्या वर्षी कार्डियक सायकल मध्ये शिकलाय की period of onset of depolarization, that is related with refractory period. So it increases refractory period activity, increases this activity and potassium efflux from myocardial cell, and thereby increases refractory period, conduction velocity decreases, then automaticity, that is Purkinje's cell fiber activity also decreases, and thereby used in treatment of myocardium, that is cardiac arrhythmia. In addition to this, on blood pressure, these drug causes hypotension action because of vasodilation effect on blood vessel, because of direct depression action on myocardium, it depresses or produces vasodilation effect or relaxation effect on myocardial cell, and because of relaxation effect on myocardial cell, it is used and in the or it produces hypotension action. So these are what? These are the pharmacological actions of quinidine. Now this quinidine generally used in the dose of 200 to 400 milligram. Quinidine sulfate tablet available in the market. So quinidine sulfate tablet in the dose of 200 to 400 milligram by oral route of administration. Then quinidine hydrochloride injection also available in market, given in the dose of 200 milligram by intravenous route of administration. So sometimes we have mentioned dose, route of administration, and one important use of quinidine. So quinidine is used in the dose of 200 to 400 milligram by oral route of administration, while quinidine sulfate injection also available, hydrochloride injection also available in market in the dose of 200 milligram by IV or by intramuscular route of administration. Now remember that this quinidine drug produces myocardial depression action and thereby decreases conduction velocity, contractibility, excitability, automaticity, Purkinje cell fiber activity. ये सभी action क्या करना है? Depress करना है and thereby used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. Now regarding quinidine, that side effect or adverse effect of quinidine. The major adverse effect or the major side effect of quinidine, that is called as synchronism. This synchronism, which is mainly characterized by impairment in hearing. की ऐकण्यामध्ये पेशंटला काय होणार आहे, इम्पेअरमेंट होणार, डिस्टर्बन्स इन इम्पेअरमेंट इन हिअरिंग लॉस होऊ शकतं, ऐकण्याचं प्रमाण काय होऊ शकतं पेशंटचं कमी, दॅट इज लॉस ऑफ हिअरिंग मे ऑकर. So synchronism mainly characterized by the symptom that there is impairment in hearing take place, loss of hearing occurs, tinnitus, deafness, vertigo, ringing in ears. This group of common symptoms that is called as synchronism. This is the major side effect of quinidine. Sometimes they may have mentioned dose, route of administration and major side effect of quinidine. So you understand that quinidine used in the dose of 200 to 400 milligram by volume. Quinidine sulfate tablet available in market. Quinidine hydrochloride injection with the dose of 200 milligram by IV route or by intramuscular use. That quinidine is used as antiarrhythmic agent in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. Also used in treatment of flutter and fibrillation. That is anti-flutter and anti-fibrillatory agent in ventricular arrhythmia. This quinidine is most drug of choice, and in addition to this it also shows weak anti-malarial action because of cinchona plant quinidine, that quinine that is anti-malarial drugs also shows weak anti-malarial action. That is the therapeutic uses of quinidine using the dose of 200 to 400 milligram. And the major side effect of quinidine that is called as synchronism. So synchronism, which is mainly characterized by symptom that is hearing loss or impairment in hearing take place, loss of hearing occurs, tinnitus, deafness, ringing in ears, blurring of vision. These group of common symptoms that is called as synchronism. In addition to this, quinidine also produces hypotension. Another side effect that it causes hypotension because of direct relaxation effect on myocardium. It decreases blood pressure and thereby produces hypotension. If another side effect that is quinidine given along with the digitalis. In next chapter we will see regarding cardiac glycoside. Then you have to remember that if given along with the digitalis, it may produce cardiac arrest. Heart may stop because of direct depression effect on myocardium. And if given along with digitalis, then will be a cardiac arrest may take place. So this is regarding what? This is side effect or adverse effect of quinidine. So here most important thing that dose, route of administration that is by oral by IV also. Then regarding uses of quinidine that is used as anti-arrhythmic agent, also used anti-flutter, anti-fibrillatory agent. Then weak anti-malarial action, and along with this quinidine also used to possess oxytocin property, isn't it? These are the therapeutic uses of quinidine. Then regarding side effect or adverse effect, that major side effect or adverse effect of quinidine that is synchronism, which is mainly characterized by loss of hearing, ringing in ears, tinnitus, deafness, blurring of vision. This group of common symptoms that is called as synchronism. Then also produces hypotension because of relaxation effect. And last one is that given along with the digitalis, because of myocardial depression, it may cause cardiac arrest, heart may stop also, isn't it? So this is regarding quinidine. Then another important drug under antiarrhythmic agent, that is procainamide. Another one that is also acting by the same mechanism as like quinidine, that also causes myocardial depression effect, fully myocardial depression effect, and thereby used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. So this is another drug of choice in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia, that is procainamide. Now procainamide also produces same pharmacological action as like quinidine, only difference that it is less potent than quinidine. Now here important question under procainamide, that generally in give reason why procaine is preferred over to procainamide in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. कि cardiac arrhythmia treatment मध्ये directly procaine का देत नाही? Why directly procainamide is preferred? So why procaine should not be given in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia, or why procainamide is preferred over to procaine in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia? कि कार्डियक अरेथमिया मध्ये प्रोकेन हा बेसिक ड्रग आहे, पण अमाइड डेरिवेटिव ऑफ प्रोकेन that is procainamide. Why procainamide given? Why not directly procaine given to the treatment of cardiac arrhythmia? You understand that pharmacological actions of procainamide are same as like quinidine, only the difference that it is less potent than quinidine. But what are the advantages of procainamide over procaine, or why procaine not given in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia, why procainamide is preferred over to procaine in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. So the reason is that there are certain drawbacks of procaine drug. First term, that procaine is not effective by oral route of administration, it is ineffective by oral route. Another drawback of procaine, that is given by oral route of administration, it is destroyed by plasma esterases enzyme. This plasma esterase enzyme causes inactivation or degradation of procaine and thereby decreases duration of action because of inactivation or because of destruction by plasma esterase enzyme. Duration of action of drug decreases. And third thing, if given by intravenous route of administration, it leads to process convulsion. These are the drawbacks of procaine, and therefore procaine should not be given directly in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. Now, why procainamide is preferred? This is because there are certain advantages of procainamide. Now, advantages of procainamide are just opposite to disadvantages of procaine. So, first advantage of procainamide, that it is effective by oral route of administration. Second thing, that procainamide is resistant against the action caused by plasma esterase enzyme. You know that this plasma esterase enzyme causes inactivation of procaine. But when procainamide derivative is used, when amide derivative of procaine is used, it is resistant against the action caused by plasma esterase enzyme and thereby increases duration of action. And third advantage, that procainamide even given by intravenous route, it does not produce convulsion. Why procaine produces convulsion after IV administration? So just remember that in opposite meaning there is advantages of procainamide, isn't it? So this question may be repeated that why procainamide is preferred over to procaine in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. कि cardiac arrhythmia direct अपन procaine देते हैं. Why only procainamide derivatives are going to be preferred? So you understand that the advantages of procainamide over procaine, or what are the drawbacks of procaine? Procaine drawback that it is ineffective by oral route of administration. Second thing, if given by oral route, it is destroyed by plasma esterase enzyme, thereby produces very short duration of action. Third drawback, that even given by IV, it produces convulsion, and therefore procaine directly not used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. While procainamide possesses certain advantages over procaine, that first thing, that it is effective by oral route of administration. Second thing, it is resistant against the action caused by plasma esterase enzyme and thereby increases duration of action. And third thing, even given by IV, it does not produce convulsion. And due to this advantages of procainamide over procaine, procainamide is preferred in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia than procaine. So हा question generally विचारला जातो. Now generally procainamide is used in the dose of 250 to 500 milligram by oral route of administration. So sometimes this question may be asked in revision, why procainamide is preferred over to procaine in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. So these are the two major drugs of choice, that is quinidine and procainamide. So these drugs act by fully electrophysiologically fully depression action on myocardium. Then second type, that is electrophysiologically partially depressing, example lignocaine and phenytoin. Now you understand that lignocaine, that is majorly used as local anesthetic agent, but because of partial depression effect on myocardium, it is used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia in the dose of 50 to 100 milligram. While phenytoin actually is an anti-epileptic agent or anti-convulsant drug in the dose of 100 to 400 milligram. Because of partial depression action on myocardium, it is also used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. So this is the first type, that is fully depression agent, quinidine and procainamide, and partially depression agent, that is lignocaine and phenytoin. Then second type, already we completed under anti-angiogenic agent, that is beta blocking agent. Beta blockers, that is propranolol, timolol, sotalol. These agents by blocking beta receptor, heart mediated beta receptor, and because of this produces depression action. जर myocardial beta receptor जर depressed झाले, block केले गेले, there is a depression action on myocardium occurs, decreases contractility, decreases conduction velocity, myocardial depression takes place, and and thereby used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. So already we completed that these agents are belonging to anti-angiogenic agent and also used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. Then calcium channel blockers like verapamil and nifedipine. This is also we completed under anti-angiogenic agent. Here most important, that is verapamil and nifedipine dosage. That verapamil used in the dose of 5 to 10 mg by oral route of administration, while nifedipine used in the dose of 30 to 40 mg by oral route of administration. These drugs blocking entry of calcium in myocardial cell. You know that calcium, that is a excitatory cation, increases contractility. When entry of calcium occurs in myocardial cell, increases contractility, increases flow of conduction and thereby use. But when calcium channel blockers are given, that blocking entry of calcium in myocardial cell, when calcium entry is going to block, decreases conduction velocity, decreases contractility, decreases excitability of myocardial cell, and thereby used in treatment of myocardial and the anti-angiogenic agent, as well as used in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. So already we completed under last lecture. Here we remember that verapamil, that is used in the dose of 5 to 10 mg by oral route, while nifedipine used in the dose of 30 to 40 mg by oral route of administration. So this is very short chapter, that is anti-arrhythmic agent. Second chapter under drugs acting on cardiovascular system. Here you remember majorly that what is cardiac arrhythmia, classification of anti-arrhythmic agent, or define and classify anti-arrhythmic agent with example. Then regarding quinidine and procainamide doses, and what is the major difference between procainamide over procaine, isn't it? So or few reason may be asked that why procainamide is preferred over to procaine in treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. So this is regarding second chapter, that is cardiac arrhythmia. Now next lecture we see the third chapter under drugs acting on cardiovascular system, that is cardiac glycosides, or we'll see regarding digitalis and its preparation. Thank you.